Hello and welcome to the Canadian Edge. Time to look at another knife, and the knife that we have on the table today is from Artisan Cutlery. And this is a different type of knife for me. I don't normally pay much attention to these style of knives, although they are very interesting. It was more my son and my grandson that pointed these out to me and said that they were kind of cool. They're kind of the trend right now. Sorry, I should have cleaned this off before I did the review. But this is a knife from Artisan Cutlery. It is called the Tomahawk, and it is the cleaver style knives. And I've seen a few of the cleaver style that I really like and think they're a good looking knife. This is one of them. But to say that I rush out and buy cleaver style knives, not really. But I do enjoy this one so far. And if you saw just recently, I did the unboxing of this knife not too long ago, and you can go back and check that out. But this has a blade length of 3.875 inches. Open, it's 8.875 inches, and closed, it is 5 inches. It's got a 3.5 inch cutting edge on it, and a little bit of a curved belly there. The steel of this is a D2, and it's a Wharncliffe with a stonewash finish. And you can see I like they put a little swedge here up at the top. I don't know if you can see those. They show up in the light, but yeah, it's kind of a cool looking thing there, having that on. And the thickness of the blade, because you do have quite a bit of blade here, it is 0.14 inches. So a lot of stock there, good thickness on the blade. If you're a person that likes meaty blades, this is a good one for you. Excuse me, the handle is a G10, and it's got the nice texturing on it. The pocket clip is a reversible deep carry pocket clip, so you can switch that over if you're left-handed. And so it's tip up, and that makes it an ambidextrous knife as well. So for you lefties out there, you can use this knife quite easily as well. It does have a ball bearing pivot in it, which is nice, and that's one thing I appreciate about the Artisan Cutlery is they do have good pivots, at least in my experience. It is a flipper opening, so you got the flipper tab with a little bit of jimping on there to get a good grip and flip that open. And it is a liner lock. And it also has a lanyard hole for those that like to put lanyards on their knives. So you've got the lanyard hole at the back there. And it's got a nice finger choil, forward finger choil there, that you can change up your grip depending on how you're using the knife and what you're using it for. Also, it allows for easier sharpening too when you have that choil there. So it's nice to have the choil. So this knife, it would be great for cutting and chopping and slicing. This to me would be a great camp knife if you're out camping, because you can do a lot of kitchen work with this. You could use this for making shavings, for fire starting. You could use it as a kitchen tool for cutting things up. You could cut meat with this. You could cut vegetables with this. It would be a great versatile camp knife. And it might be something that you either throw in your pocket or just in your gear. And the D2 steel, it's going to hold the edge for quite a while so that you don't have to worry about sharpening it every few minutes. So these knives, like I say, I'm not a huge fan of the cleaver style, but I do like this one, and I like the aesthetics of it. Like I said, the swedge up there is good. I love the profile of the blade. I like Artisan Cutlery does the nice little pivot cap on there. Makes it look attractive, the orange against the black. And so the aesthetics of this are quite nice. The ergonomics are great. You've got a swell in the handle here, which gives you that forward pushing motion. So if you're chopping or even slicing, you can do, you got good leverage on it. And like I say, you can change up your grip if you have to be a little more precise and controlled. You can do that. So the ergonomics on this are really nice. The flipper tab acts as a finger guard so that you don't go forward. And I like that they've done a little bit of a bevel here so you can get to the flipper tab easier. I'm finding a lot of knives, I really like the knives, but it's hard to get, the flipper tab to the liner lock. I'm finding a lot of knives I really like, but they make kind of a recessed finger liner lock, and they're not always easy to get to. But this one, you can get it and get it closed. The pivot on this is very smooth. The Artisan Cutlery, as I said, the pivots on them are really nice. It takes almost no effort to open this thing, and then combined with the weight of it, it drops closed without any problem at all. Yeah, you can see there it just kind of drops closed. So it's got a really nice pivot on it, and like I say, good grip. And I was quite surprised. I thought this is going to be big and bulky in your pocket, and it is big. We'll do a size comparison here in just a second, but it sits in your pocket so that this part goes away from your hand. So when you put your hand in, you're only really feeling the tab, because these are a nice smooth line. It does have the open spine with a spacer back here, forgot to mention that. So you can see it has the partial spacer at the back. But it actually fits the pocket really well. I was quite surprised. I've got smaller knives that feel bulkier than this one in your pocket. So kudos to them for making a big knife that doesn't feel necessarily like a big knife in your pocket. And they do come quite sharp. Let's take a look at the sharpness here, and then I'll tell you a few things about it that I didn't really care for. And oh yeah, I should just get a good piece of paper instead of trying to do this, because these are sharp. It's there you can see it. Probably just the angle I'm trying to cut at. There we go. Get my angle right. So you can see it shaves paper quite well. And gotta do the zap strap. So if you can get them in around the zap strap, and I don't know if this is going to want to slide up the belly of the knife. Try and do this without wreaking havoc. Yeah, it goes through there pretty good. I just didn't want to smack anything. I do have an iPad and that on the table there, so And no effort to go through that. And how about the nylon rope? We'll try that. And it goes through that pretty easy. So it does have a bit of an edge, and I've used this a couple times. This isn't the greatest box, but I'll just try and show you that these things are beasts when it comes to slicing boxes. And yes, these are Girl Guide cookies for those of you who go, hey, that box looks familiar. I do enjoy Girl Guide cookies, and it's nice to support the Girl Guides. But you can see if you got boxes that you want to slice up at home, it's good for slicing boxes. It goes through them pretty darn easy. And so it is a bigger knife, as I said. It's 8.875 inches, and so if you compare it to, say, the Mini Griptilian Benchmade, or even the Ontario Rat 2, you can see you got a lot of knife sticking out there. Let's see, I do have the Tenacious. I haven't done the review on this one yet, but that'll be down the road. So you can see, if you're familiar with the Tenacious, they are a big knife. It's a lot of knife in there. So so yeah, you can do a lot of work with this knife. I think it would be a great workhorse for sure. Do a lot of jobs. Couple things that I didn't like about it is that, again, it is a heavy knife. I've gotten to like the lighter knives for myself, but you can see it is a little heavier. I don't like that the pocket clip screws. I don't know if you can see those. I can never get this there angle quite right. But the pocket clip screws stick up, so those are going to catch on your pocket and do a little bit of wear and tear. And the liner lock is a little bit stiff. That'll probably change over time when you break it in and that. So, but it's not impossible. It just, you have to give it a good push. And you can see this does have a bit of a detent until that point there, and then it breaks and falls down. And that just prevents you from getting your fingers in there and getting them trimmed. And you can see that it does line up down the middle there. Oh, go the wrong way. It lines up nice. And of course there's no blade play whatsoever, up or down. It's in there solid. And yeah, just really nice knives. And you know what, like I say, this would be a very practical knife, especially, like I say, if you're camping and stuff like that. It would be good practical knife. And yeah, I like it. You definitely know you got a knife in your hands when you're hanging on to this thing. So overall, I really enjoy this knife. You could use this as an everyday carry knife. A lot of guys do carry these as everyday carry. I prefer the smaller knives with either like a clip point or spear point or drop point, but this would work as an everyday carry. It is a little intimidating probably when you bring it out, so you might not want to pull it out at a family gathering or something unless people are familiar with you and knives. But it is a good knife. So That is the Artisan Cutlery Tomahawk. Thank you for joining me on this review, and I'll be doing another review here in a couple days. And oh, I forgot to mention, it does have stainless steel liners too that are skeletonized a bit in there, and oh, you can kind of see them. And so it just gives a little support there to the old G10 handles. But thank you for joining me on this review. Hit like, hit the comments, and subscribe. And until we do another knife, I'll say stay safe and stay sharp.